I just picked up this 60 CU on a homie deal. I decided to load up the T2s to try out the board. It hasn't been bumped yet, and it's got an alloy plate. This is the first switch I've tried on the board, and it's got a Type Plus stab for the spacebar. Honestly, I'm very surprised with both the switch and the board. I'm not hearing a ton of thunking off this config at least, and it's clacking super high, quite full, and very loud. I quite like this build as is before any tweaking. I'm pleasantly surprised by this CU, it's quite good. The build process is annoying though. I wouldn't be doing back-to-backs with this board versus my Core Plus workflow, especially since I only have the one CU with the one PCB and the one plate versus my Core Plus workflow where I've got multiple of everything. Here's the fast sound test of the T2 as built, no bumping, and my Core Plus builds of the Macchiato V2 and the Yogurt S from yesterday's video to strictly for reference. It's not a comparable back-to-back really and should not be used to judge the switch directly. While they are recorded within minutes of each other, completely different boards, completely different form factors is not valid. It's strictly for reference only, alright? Here comes the sound tests. As you can see in here, these T2 kind of slap. These are a buy. I don't mind these at all. I don't usually talk about specs and materials since the end sound is what really matters, and there's only limited guesses that you can make based on the materials of what any given switch will sound like. Having said that, these switches have Kevlar in the stem. These switches are bulletproof. These ones hit stiff and clean. There's maybe 2 or 3 switches threatening to tick, but would require a decent amount of hunting to isolate and swap out. It's microscopic. Initial impressions of this switch is that it's solid, at least on this board in this config. I don't think the CU is the most neutral board to do sound tests on, especially not bumped, so the board could be do some of the heavy lifting making this switch sound good. It's possible the interactions like this big brass weight eating up some of the sound or adding bass to what might normally be a thin switch or covering up some of the Keygeek plastic tones. But in this config, on this board, I would ship this switch. It's untested in my normal workflow in my bench with the Core Pluses. Take it all with a grain of salt, but this switch and this config, I can ship without hesitation. As always, grab these bad boys at Unikeys, use my code shylocutus. Thank you everyone for all the love and support. I love you all. Peace.